This video is going to go over the procedures for the weekly database refresh for the statewide programs unit. Every week, the various databases that the statewide programs unit uses are backed up, cleaned up, and they have executables that are exported. These files are located in the 0605 network drive. They're located in a few different places. There are some in the data sources, whereas this is where the agreements database and the EDW databases are stored. There's some in the federal database. This is where the certification databases are stored. And there's some in the state-funded programs database. This is where the bike-ped and the project tracking databases are stored. There are two types of files for most of the databases. There is a back-end and a front-end. A back-end for a database holds the tables and the raw data. The front-end for the database is what the user generally sees. That's going to include the forms, the reports, and the queries for the database. Databases are separated so that if corruption occurs in one of those divisions, it doesn't infect the other division. So if the data has a problem, the front end will still be fine. But if the front end gets a problem, the data will still be fine. So let's start with one of the databases. We're going to back up the certification database. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the back end, and we open the back end. You'll note on the left are just the tables. You're going to click on File, Compact and Repair Database. You'll see a bar down at the bottom right that shows you the progress. Once that's done, you need to back up the database backend. So you go to Save As, Backup Database, and you double click. As you can see, I've already backed it up today, so I'm not going to back it up again. But usually I just keep the file name that it gives me. And then you click Save. Once you've cleaned up and backed up the back end, you can close it. Then you need to go and open the front end. Here you can see we have queries and forms. There are some tables, but these are all linked tables. The meat of this is really the queries and the various different forms. So you go to File, and just like before, you click on Compact and Repair. This is just some weekly maintenance that's done to the database to help fix basic corruption errors. Once that's complete, you'll go to File, you'll go to Save As, and you'll back up the front end also. Again, I've already done this for today, so I'm not going to do it again. But usually I just keep the name that the system gives the file, and you click Save. Once you've done that with the front end, now we need to create an executable. An executable is a file that the user accesses, but it doesn't include all of the design elements. So they can see the forms and they can use the forms and queries, but they can't necessarily change the design of them. This helps preserve the structure of your database. So you'll go over to Make ACCDE and you'll double click. It's going to ask you to give it a name and where you want to put it. We keep ours right here for this database, and you click Save. Once that is complete for all of the databases, you want to send an email to all of your users. So you go to Outlook, you create a new email, you type in the various users. I usually title the email Weekly Database Refresh. If you have a change log of database changes that you've been keeping over the course of the week, you can insert any changes to that database in here, and then you send the email.